Welcome back to my channel. Long time no see. We're going to jump straight into this tutorial. So first things first, we're going to clean off the mannequin. I am using a napkin and some water. Just to get, rid of some dust or dirt or whatever may be left over on her. Make sure she's all clean and ready to go before you apply some makeup on her. And after that, I'm going to take some concealer. This is a Too Faced Born This Way concealer and Chai. But then I ended up changing my mind and I switched over to Nars Macao and Maybelline Fit Me Coconut to apply all over the mannequin. And I'm using an Anastasia Beverly Hills buffing brush to swipe the foundation. I usually do not swipe the foundation when I'm applying makeup on humans, but for mannequins you have to swipe because they don't have pores. So if you tap where the foundation is going to go, it's going to look all streaky. It's just going to look a hot mess. So you just got to swipe the foundation all over. And look how beautiful she's coming out already. All beautiful, chocolate, and nice. Yes, and she glowing too. She's looking a little dull before, but now she glowing. We're going to get her together. And now I'm just bringing that foundation all the way down to her chest. I am not going to fill in her chest completely yet. I'll do that at the end. So now I am taking the Chai concealer. I believe this was a Chai Too Faced concealer, Born This Way. And I'm going to apply that on her cheeks, her nose, forehead, and chin as such, like as I would do on a regular makeup application on a human. And I'm going to take the Real Technique setting brush and I'm going to swipe that on the highlighted areas. Swipe that all over the highlighted areas. Like I said, we are swiping. If you tap, it's going to look streaky. And it's not going to be blended in properly. So yeah, I'm just swiping those areas. And this application on a mannequin, it took me about 5 hours to do. I repeat, 4 to 5. Let me be correct. 4 to 5 hours. I want to say 4, but I'm going to say 5. It's just so much harder to do on a mannequin than it would on a normal person. And this was my first time. So it took like so long, and I went through trial and error, which what we will discuss later on in the video. You will see. But I don't think I did too bad for my first time. I think I bodied my first time, to be honest. I can't wait to do more of these. And as you can see, slowly but surely, everything is blending out really beautifully as we continue to swipe all over her highlighted areas. I also forgot to mention at the beginning of this video, shout out to TaylorMade Jane. Shout out to TaylorMade Jane. She is the GOAT of doing these mannequin makeovers. So I was inspired by her. And now we're going to contour her cheekbones, forehead, and chin. And I'm going to take my Anastasia Beverly Hills foundation stick. I believe this was in the color Earth. I believe so. I'll go back and I'll list the products below in the description box. But yeah. And I'm going to take a different brush. Well, it's the same Real Technique setting brush, but I'm just going to take a different one that I have. And, same brush, but just a different brush, whatever. And I'm going to blend that out on the areas I applied her contour. And we're swiping as well as we blend out the contour. I also want to note that I do not cream contour the nose. I don't even cream contour the nose on my regular clients because I feel like it just gets lost. So I'd rather just powder contour all the way at the end. I just don't see a point in cream contouring the nose. I don't know. To me, it just doesn't really look defined. It just defeats the purpose. There's really no purpose, in my opinion, but to each their own. And now I'm going back in with the Anastasia buffing brush, and I'm going to blend the outer edges of where the concealer and the contour meet, just so it's not like a harsh transition, if y'all get what I'm saying. I'm going back with my Real Technique setting brush that I use for the concealer application. I'm just blending out those edges. This is looking too good. And you're going to see me switch back between the Anastasia Beverly Hills buffing brush and the Real Technique setting brush. And applying more concealer to areas where I feel like it could be blotchy or just not enough. I'm taking the time to go back over and do that now. And like I said before, you have to swipe. We are not tapping, we are swiping. So I'm taking my Sacha Buttercup powder and I'm placing that on the top of her lip, bottom lip, her chin / chin, under her cheekbones, her under eyes, and her forehead, as I would do in a normal makeup application on a client. Guys, this took so long. This took so long. I kind of want to offer as a service to other hairstylists. But if I do, I'm definitely going to be charging because this took way too long. And I know it's not just me, you know, as me being a beginner for me taking that long. Because I've seen other people who are more skilled than me than doing these makeovers on the mannequins. And one girl said it took her like 8 hours. So maybe she took breaks. I don't know. So now what we're going to do is I'm going to go into my Black Radiance. I believe it's Black Radiance contour palette, and I'm going to contour the areas, powder contour the areas I placed the cream contour at. And I'm taking, oh god, I don't remember the name of this brush. It's an E series brush from Morphe, and I love this brush. I mean, not blush, brush. I love this brush because it's interchangeable. Like I use it as blush and for blush and contour. And now I'm taking my Anastasia Beverly Hills, I believe this is a highlighter brush, and I'm just swiping that powder away, just gently swiping it off. Mannequin's face. And I don't know if you can tell or not, but on the left side of Mannequin's face, it was looking a little blotchy after I swiped the powder off. I think I was probably just too harsh. I don't know what it was, but I go back in the end and I'll show you how I fixed that. So now I am taking the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade in the color Granite. I believe that was the color I used. Yeah, that was the color I did use. I'm taking an Anastasia Spoolie Brow Brush. And as you can see, I'm not doing her brows as I would do it on a human. I am just taking gentle strokes. I'm just tapping them onto the mannequin very gently and very slowly, because you want the brow hairs to look realistic. You want them to be thin as possible. Okay, if you rush, it's going to look like a rushed job. You have to take your time doing these brows. And I did the left brow off camera because, child, I just kept messing. The left brow was just giving me a bunch of issues, but I made it work. So now we're going to take that Too Faced concealer that we used on her face, and we're going to carve out the bottom brow. We're not going to carve out the top, only the bottom. I see other people, they carve out the top too. I think TaylorMade Jane, I believe she only concealed the bottom, but I'm just going to leave it at the bottom. In my opinion, the top doesn't need to be contoured. I think it looks just fine. So I'm going to my Urban Decay Naked 2 palette, and I'm just tapping on that black eyeshadow on her eyelids. And then I am going in my Patricia Bright Makeup Revolution palette. No, sorry, James Charles. The James Charles palette. I'm taking that neon orange color and I'm tapping that right above the black. And now I'm going into my Makeup Revolution palette by Patricia Bright. And I'm going to take this like reddish brick color, and I'm going to place that like between the orange and the black, where those two colors meet. And now I'm going back in the black for my Urban Decay. By the way, this is my favorite black to use of all time. I love using this black for smoky eyes Any look involving black, I'm here for it. I am here for it. As you can see, I dipped back into that brick color for the Makeup Revolution palette. I'm just tapping that in again. And now I am going to cut her crease with the Inglot 94 gel liner with my Anastasia concealer brush. And on a mannequin, it's so hard to blend out eyeshadow, but I'm going to go back and blend out the edges. Once I'm done cutting the crease and applying the glitter, I am taking some Duo lash glue, the clear form that comes in a stick, and I am applying this silver holographic glitter from Fluttered by Ro. Check her out. I love her glitters. Off camera, I applied the wing liner and some lashes from Aliexpress. The liner I used was the Wet n Wild Mega Liner. And so what you just seen me doing was I carved out her brow bone with concealer, and I blended out those edges a bit with the same brush I used for the neon orange. And now I am going in her waterline. I am placing black and white eyeliner. And I did her bottom lashes off camera on the right eye. I did apply concealer on her lips, but disregard that because I ended up wiping it off anyways. So now what I'm doing is I'm taking some more concealer and I'm going back in on the left side of her face with concealer because it was just looking blotchy, and I didn't set that area this time with powder. So I went back in with the blush and the contour because it did lose some of the contour. And I'm going in with my Anastasia Beverly Hills lip palette, and I'm using this dark mahogany shade, I would say, on her lips. And I'm just applying that with a concealer brush. And then I applied some clear gloss right on top. Now I'm taking my Anastasia Beverly Hills loose highlighter and Sunset Aura. And boy, do I love for a good highlight. She is glowing. Look at her. Look at her. She is glowing. She is glowing. You was giving me life, girl. So we're doing that on her cheeks, the bridge of her nose, forehead and chin. And I'm taking like a smaller brush and applying that same highlight on her. I'm going to apply some Morphe setting spray on her. And then I'm going to plop this old raggedy wig I have on her. I tried making it work because the closure is balding, so just bear with me. I was just trying to make her look cute though. Give her some hair. And now I'm going to go back in with my Anastasia buffing brush. I'm going to blend that foundation all the way down to her chest. Then I'm taking this highlight palette, the Anastasia Glow Kit highlight palette, and I'm applying that all over her chest. And I'm going back in with the buffing brush to blend that all out. We're applying more setting spray on her, and this is the final result. I am in love. I hope you guys are in love too. Let me know what you guys thought of these mannequin makeovers. They're all over Instagram. Let me know how I did. Let me know what you guys want to see more of me. I'll see you guys again pretty soon. Take care.